Nobody's in here. I just started this thing. So you guys, I don't start the I've been doing these curry. I'm trying to knock out curries just in the morning. I haven't been taking the afternoon ones as much just because of traffic. I think with it being summer, they're really knocking out even more roads, and we have a huge project being undertaken here between I-25 and I-70, the only two interstates that come through Denver and cross. So yeah, so mornings are a lot better. I get up, I do the super early run. I do like today I had to, not as early, but I had to get out my door by 5:10, pick up a 5:30. It is now 6:46, but that was a good paying one. This is a good paying one. I'm going down to the Sherman. I'm about, let me see. Oh, I'm still about 20 minutes out from the Sherman-Williams Center. And this is a good paying one. This is kind of a longer one. And then, so that one's a 7 a.m. pickup and be about 5 minutes late. And then after that, I need to get it to Bennett. It's a little outside of Denver, but barely to the east. And then back home, because my next pickup isn't until 10. So therein lies my qualm, is that, I wish it was, because it's like an hour and a half on the other ones, and it's perfect. Or like, if it's 5 or 5:15 or 5:30, I'm always done, in time to get to a 7 a.m. pickup too, which is perfect. But a 7 a.m. pickup, the next batch, I mean, sometimes there's like sporadic ones, 8:30, 9, whatever, but the next batch of a lot of the scheduled are 10 a.m. I wish they were like, I wish it was like 8:39, because then I would do all these kind of back to back. But lately it's been that I'm knocking out 3 in the mornings when I can, back to back scheduleds, and it's like the 2 back to backs that are earliest. I can do those, like I finish one and I head right to the next. That usually works out perfect. This one's gonna put me just a couple minutes late. But then the other one is usually 2-3 hours later. It's hard because here's my choices. I can go home and wait until the next one, or I can turn on some other apps. But it's really, and I'm not saying always, I mean, it's always hard because it just doesn't pay enough on some of these other platforms. But I mean, I could go turn on DoorDash for a while. I could turn on Uber. I could turn on some other apps. But after the money I make on these first 2 curries, and then the one I have coming up, it's just, I don't know why it's unconnecting. That's bullshit. Sorry. What's up, guys? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody's doing good. I am. That's Display Ride looking out for my safety. Display Ride, guys. I try and plug it whenever I hear her talk to me. But yeah, free camera, fair prices for monthly cloud upload, unlimited storage. You can call for any portion of a video. I got a button here that gives me the last 2 minutes or the last 10 minutes to my phone within 5 minutes. So if I need it, I can get the footage to my phone, and then I can also request it be sent to my email so I have a better copy. But they'll send that 10 minutes of footage, like if something were to happen, or even if I witnessed an accident, not one with me in it, because it has a front and back cam like most dash cams. But I mean, like if I gotta be honest, I'm pretty sure a lot of you are in the same boat. If you live in a big city, you probably see accidents when you're driving. This is a good tool, because I don't know about you guys, but here in Colorado, we get a lot, not a ton. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't know, but I'm assuming they don't have insurance because there's a lot of hit and runs, and some of them are nasty ones too. It's like, I'm not like saying there's different levels, and if it's a small hit and run, you should go. But to be honest, like, I've seen some just bam hit and runs, and like, I'm surprised the car can even move, but they'll take off. So these dash cams are becoming important. I don't even care if you do gig work. I mean, dash cams I believe everybody should have one. You know, I have a clamp on one here that sometimes I don't even plug it in. These days, this used to be my religiously used one, the one that's on the mirror. But that one's an SD card, and if somebody grabs it, if somebody were to grab it and yank it, then they have the footage. There's no cloud upload. I got no recourse there. But this one, if somebody grabs it, yanks it, and runs with it, even once it unplugs, it has about 10 to 15 minutes of power. And so, so as they're running, they're even trackable for like the first 9 minutes or 8 minutes after that 10 minutes of footage is coming to me. This thing stays with power for like 8 minutes. So it's like they'll be able to even not say, okay, yeah, this is where he took it. This is my car. This is where he took it. But they'll be able to say, okay, the first 8 minutes, this is the path he took, which pretty much helps you kind of determine where he's going or which way. Anyway, have a dash cam, guys. Display Ride's great. If you, and they're a very, very small company, displayride.com. I really don't, Abdul, the owner, the CEO, founder, and owner of the company, he gives me this one for free, and I don't pay the $19 monthly fee. Everybody gets the camera for free, though. If you sign up, you get the camera for free. You sign a year contract. It used to be 2, but you sign a year contract to pay whichever of the levels you want. $19.99 is good enough. Complete upload, complete safety. But if like after 2 months you decide you don't want it, you just send the camera back, which was free. So it's free, but if you want to get, even though you're on a contract, if you send this back, Abdul will let you off. So I know there used to be a place to type in R Rodeo, 2 R's, R Rodeo, and you'd get 3 months for free or something. But you might need to email them, because I had somebody say it wasn't working, and it might have even been Rodeo 2022, so maybe it ended at the end of last year. I'll contact him and find out. But hey, what's up, Justin? How you doing? Good morning. When I'm on YouTube and driving, first of all, I don't look at the chat, but I've got it set up in a way now. Most people are probably familiar with this. I hate the YouTube interface for live, but where I see it until, you know, I'll see like 3 or 4, and once the chat starts moving, even like the newest 3 or 4 will disappear and leave nothing on the screen. But in the early stages, the first few will stay up for a while. So like I'm sure you typed that in, and it's bold on my screen. But YouTube already has needed to reconnect twice since I started this. And for an update for anybody who's in here, first of all, hit that like, please. Get that thing shown in the feed, please. I would appreciate it. It's free. It just literally move your thumb from here to the phone and push like. But for those wondering what I'm doing, read the title of the video. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm doing curry. I did one this morning already, and I am on my way to the second one. Usually the first one allows, I've got this new setup because they come out in batches now, and so or they come out, you know, like the batches the night before come out, and they're like kind of similar times, but it's weird because it's like 5:15, 5:30. Those will be like scheduled pickups. 7 a.m. is the main one. That's where you'll see a ton. 7 a.m. scheduled pickups, and then 10 a.m. there's a bunch more of scheduled pickups. But so today I have a trifecta. I have all 3. I had a 5:30, and I have a 7, and I have a 10. And the problem is I'm picking up, it's 6:55 here right now. I'm still a little bit out because of the last delivery, which is kind of upsetting because this is my Sherwin-Williams Supercenter I'm going to, and I don't like being late here. But I'll do the first one, I'll do the second one, like back to back, not even a break, not even a 2-minute break. It's already scheduled. And then by the time I finish the second delivery, you know, we'll see today, but like 7, okay, let's say it's 8 o'clock, and that's pushing it. Let's say it's 7:45, 8 out here. Now I'll be done with the second delivery, and I'll be in Bennett, which is just out east of Denver, and you know, I can drive home in 20-25 minutes from Bennett to my house, and it's gonna to be 8 o'clock, or I can wait, or 7:45, and I can wait till 10 a.m. in the park, because actually my next pickup, it's not always the case, but is in between Bennett and my house. But I don't want to go sleep in the parking lot of that place for 2 hours. So the only thing, so I don't know, you know, I wish it was 5:30, 7, 8:39. But nonetheless, I don't mind going home. The only problem with going home is that sometimes I get a little lazy after these two, and I got to be very careful, you know, like even if I'm doing some work or whatever, just not doze off in the chair, because when you get up at 4:45, it's a different game. You do own the roads, that's nice. You do make more money, or at least me. I don't do this for health. I do this because I make way more money getting up early, and I can move around the city faster. But I wish that sometimes they do too. Like I'd say 1 out of 4 times that I do these type of days where I do 2 or 3 schedules in the morning. What I always hope for is between the 7 a.m. pickup that could end at 7:30, 8-ish, and then there's not one till 10. I always hope there's one that a hot shot that comes in, not a scheduled, but in between there. But it'd be sweet if they made another, like an 8:30 scheduled. So if I could do 5:30, 7, 8:30, and 10, that's 4 scheduled. That'd be my whole day. Hey, Kevin Hawthorne. Good morning, sir. Lakeland, Florida. Guessing it's pretty hot down there. I haven't looked at the weather lately, and you know, in the winter I'm a weather freak, because I have like all these different weather apps that I use for avalanches and stuff out here in backcountry. So I feel like I'm in touch with the planet, because I'm actually looking at snowfall around the globe, and it just makes me look at the weather everywhere. But in the summers, it's so hot here, I'm like, I don't care what it is everywhere else. I shouldn't be reading these. Deliver that has been slow in northern Colorado. You know, I don't think it's just northern Colorado, Justin. I think Deliver That's been pretty slow. All the people I know who have been doing very good on Delivered That, like EDM, you know, he was one of those first people really to get on it and kind of promote it. And I know a lot of people who got on it, did really good with it, for longer than a lot of the newer apps, like those when they start. You know, but I feel like they're all saying like Delivered That, or I got a good one, and they used to be one of those things where they had a bunch of good ones in a day. But I don't know, you know, I know people talk about the summer slowdown, and it's real, but it depends on what market you're in. You know, I mean, some places are summer destinations, and you have a winter slowdown, and you don't, and in the summer you're killing it. So really depends. But I feel like Delivered That, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like maybe they've tapered off a bit. Most apps do, you know. This is why I'm so always proud of Curri. This is why Curri will be at the town hall on Saturday, August 5th, with our Colorado elected Stephanie Vigil and some others, and lots of people are coming, and I keep learning about more people coming almost every day. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be something that you guys, if you can get out here, and normally I would just say don't worry about it, you can catch it live stream. But if you can get out here, it's going to be a one of a kind event. It's going to be we haven't done one of these, and not just me or we, like nobody in the community, nobody in the legislation has tried to pull together workers and politicians, and that's what we're doing. We're going to have union members, politicians on hopefully both sides of the aisle, but at least on Stephanie's side of the bill here in Colorado, SB 23-098. It's the Gig Worker Transparency and Wrongful Deactivation Bill. It has no money attached, and it got shot down by its own party, primarily Priola. And if you look at the story of Priola being elected out here, it's a weird story, you know. Mort told me a story last night. Welcome back, Mort. I missed Mort, man. I always have good discussions with Mort. I like talking to that dude. And he, it's nice to have another friend come back to the community. But yeah, it's Priola is something you guys can look into. He's an elected official out here. He was one of the people that Sergio calls the standouts, or the holdouts, because they had pledged their allegiance to the bill for months while they were getting things in order to go to the floor. And then the day that they were supposed to vote on the floor, he pulled out and said, no, never mind. I don't want to back this bill anymore. But here's the weird story about Priola. I'll just give you the real, this is just the top of the iceberg. You guys can dive deeper if you want. But Priola was a Republican, ran for office, got elected, and then became a Democrat. To me, this is so mind-blowing. Mort's good at this. Mort's good at this stuff too. I like politics. I don't like what happens in politics, but I like following it because I think that, we can't just all ignore it forever and think it's going to get any better. And if it gets much worse, we're really going to have some bigger problems even than we already do. So it's nice just to, I'm not saying watchdog, but just to keep an eye on it and be familiar with terminology and people running and stuff like that. But God, man, I'm tired. Sorry, guys. The Kevin Priola thing, or the Priola getting elected. So, yeah, he was a Republican, got elected, got in there. I don't know if he on document changed his party affiliation, but I believe even there he did. So to me, I don't know. Mort pointed out that this happened when Woodrow Wilson, I believe. Mort looked it up last night. He was like, so, hey, this happened one other time in presidential history, actually. And because I don't even know other times I know of. And if we're talking Woodrow Wilson, we're talking back in the 50s, It's like, whoa. That's how long since somebody's tried this. But to me, it seems like a very Trojan horse type situation, like, oh, here's this Republican, we need to get him nominated. Okay, so the Republican Party nominates him, puts a bunch of money behind him, helps get him elected, and then he's like, I'm a Democrat. Like, it's almost like, he gets pushed into the Senate, and it's like he pops out, he's like, oh, Democrat. Like, it just seems like first of all, presidential terms are 4 years, we all know this, but a lot of these seats are 2 years, so it's like that's why every 2 years you're doing a lot of local elections too. And it seems like for the 2 years you're elected, and I don't know how you would force them, you can't force them on how to vote, but it seems like your party affiliation should have to remain what you were voted in under for those 2 years. Now, if you want to vote against the party, that's fine. People do that all the time. I think what would be picked up on is if, like, you were a Republican, you came in and you, as a Democrat, you voted Republican, or if you were Republican, came in, became a Democrat, and then you voted on every Democrat, or stayed a Republican and voted on every Democrat bill. That would look weird. Like, hey man, you're not really a Republican because you're not even siding, you don't need to agree on everything, but you're not agreeing on anything. So, does he do that? I don't know. I need to dig into Priola a little bit more, but he did do that here. He absolutely did do that here, and he's done it other times too. There's a few other instances that are known, but I'd like to dig into Priola and see just how dirty he really is. He seems like a very dirty politician. And again, guys, he's really not much, upon first sight, he's not much different than most politicians, like, you'd be like, all right, but he seems like, it's nothing like super stand out, like, man, this guy's sketchy. At least to me there wasn't, and, and now here this is, it's like, first of all, it's a two-party system, but second of all, are we even voting for the people we want? What the hell, dude? Hey, Brian, what's up? Are you giving me a bag of gold money? You can send that right to me, bro. In fact, you can Curri it to me. If you want to have a couple beers, Brian, I'll make an order in Curri today I'll just put aluminum siding, and and I'll order it to my house, and I'll have you pick up like one piece of aluminum siding, and then you can bring it to me with that bag of gold. We'll go out and have some beers. I did a career of waiting for the other one to bump up some more. I'll Apple Pay you. Well, dude, I was thinking it'd be a lot more fun if you brought the. I mean, I'm assuming it's such a real bag of gold. I thought it'd be fun if you brought the bag of gold. We'll go out drinking, man. We'll go to the bar with a bag of gold. And just set it down on the bar everywhere. Yeah, we're here to drink. Let's go. Hey, Bordura, how are you? Good morning. Hello, I stopped by to leave a like. I need to start my route soon. Okay. Gosh, I remember. Are you doing medical career, Bordura? Are you? I don't remember what. I remember you doing. I remember the route. I remember you doing something, but I can't remember what it is. Yeah, exactly, Brian. Vikings. And actually, I'm not even opposed to that. We can put the Viking hats on. I mean, I don't want the full attire. It's a little weird, but I'll put the Viking hat on and a bag of gold and just go from place to place. I'll even call beer mead. Give me a lager. Give me a mug of mead. Mead from you put it to. Isn't it what is the Willie Nelson song? Beer for whiskey for my men and beer for my horses. Oh man. Alright, so how many minutes late am I? This guy knows me pretty well. He has an assistant manager that's here some mornings, but it's Friday. I always pride myself on never being late. And I'm not running late because of me. I'm running late. Well, I mean, I am, but I had another curry delivery that, you know. Oh man, bummer. I don't like this is probably one of two locations I love and I don't like being late to. So, not cool. But I am going to try and slip in the back way, try and jump in front of another vehicle, or at least a quick load spot. Oh, nice. All right. I might be signing off for just a minute here, guys, while I show him the order and get the paint. Be right back. Yeah, medical career. Okay. I'll be right back. Hold on. See that? Hey, what's up there? Man, I got here just in time. There's like a whole, I don't know if you guys saw the quick glance, but I only showed you two. There's like 4 Sherman-Williams trucks here picking up. I thought I was running a little late. I guess, you know, traffic affects us all. We all know this. But it's funny because I rolled in before all of their employees. Boom! Because those Sherman-Williams trucks, those are W2. So the guys inside are going, man, why are you guys so lazy? Come on. This Curri guy's outdoing you every time he comes down here. I've been down here 100 times in the past 2 years to this location. Actually, in the past year because it's only been open a year. But this is the location I've been at the most by probably 3 times, maybe twice. At least twice as many times as any other location I've been to for Curri. I've been to that one. You guys can't tell. I know I tried to show you a little bit around, but you can't tell. But the oh, I didn't put in the address. Let me see. I'm gonna pull over here just real quick. Damn it. Oh man, I'm all spacey brained. $46, 46, 46, 542. Sunrise. Nope, didn't show up still. Sunrise Court. Bennett, there it is. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, so this even, you know, I mean, good. It's quicker than I thought. Eight, 6, 7, 5, 309. Oh man. So yeah, so it's not as far as I thought. So that, to be honest, awesome. But that even makes it, Brian knows this, that even makes it harder because now I definitely have to go home. Unless I drop this off and get a hot shot the second I drop it off, because that will keep me out and obviously it will earn me more money. But that's almost like a sweet spot for me where, like Brian was saying, he's waiting for an order to go. I do that too, but I have 3 scheduleds. I have one at, you know, 5:30 today, 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. Now this one shows that I'm going to be there at 7:50 in like a half hour. And then it's like 20 minutes from my house, which means 8:10 I'd be back home. And I'm only like 15 minutes from my 10 o'clock pickup at my house. Even with that only being that close to the pickup, I don't want to go home because, you know, you go home, you get a little lazy. I've got myself pretty good down, but it's just dragging myself back out. And so I'd much rather drop this and get something and take it, obviously. But this is even where I'll tell you guys, I don't do it. I wouldn't, like, if an order comes through that's just horrible pay, I'm not going to grab it just to keep me busy. But this is where I would probably, like, if I drop this after the other 2 scheduleds I've done, if I see an order come through that's like, I probably would take it. And I need to probably think about that strategy because I don't want to hurt other Curri drivers. I don't want to be one of the people who takes the bad orders, because in my market, this is the only app that all of the drivers know not to take the bad orders. If bad orders are being taken, that's new drivers that are onboarded. And, you know, I mean, most of the time it means they're taking maybe they're even taking short runs for under 20 bucks. I don't ever do anything under 20 bucks, period, for Curri. Nothing. I don't care if it's 1 mile. I mean, if it's 1 mile and it's 1 mile away from where I am and I did a drop, sure. But that's extremely rare. Maybe once or twice that's happened. But yeah, I mean, if it's under 20 bucks, I'm really not wasting the time because there is a little extra effort. You know, and sometimes you get to locations, you got to find, you know, you go up to the garage and they've added the lock so you can't push the garage up. So now you got to find a way into the house if the team isn't there yet, because what's the rule about paint? That's right. Everybody got it right today. Nice, dude. Amazing, guys. That's right. Paint cannot be left outside. Correct. Even if you just put it inside of a garage. Even with it being 9,500 degrees here today, doesn't matter. Even if you just put it in a pre-built, just put it inside the garage. Just don't leave it outside. Oh, is that what you meant by the gold bag? I think that's what Brian meant by the gold bag money. Not that we can go out drinking. I think he meant, oh, I can bring you some paint. Because paint is gold now, guys. Paint is worth more than gold in weight. That's going to be our new Federal Reserve. You're going to open up the Federal Reserve, and there's just going to be buckets of paint in there. Yeah, dollar bills backed by that paint. Are you near East Colfax? You could do some research. To be honest, Justin, I am not far from East Colfax. I'm actually, to be honest, I'm in, if you're familiar with Denver, I know you're in northern Colorado, but if you're familiar with Denver even somewhat, I'm in Park Hill. So I kind of sit, you probably don't know where the Denver Performing Arts High School is, but it's at Montview in Quebec. I literally am behind the high school. In the Park Hill neighborhood. I'm not in Stapleton or AKA Central Park. Yes, we had to rename another town. Our town Stapleton, where the airport used to be, needed to be renamed because Stapleton was a racist or whatever from 500 years ago, you know. So it seems like this happens more and more. Street names, I mean, but even the city was Stapleton forever. It housed the old Denver airport before it was Denver International Airport, way out on Pena. It was the Denver Stapleton Airport, and it was very small for an international airport and for a city of this size, but it was kind of right downtown. It was like the airport tower, the control tower for the old airport is probably about 4 miles from my house, and it's still there. They turned it into like a bar, and it's been like 4 bars ever since they transformed it, because nobody knows how to build it right. You gotta have a vision when you build a bar, guys. I've had 3 successful ones I've owned, operated, and started from scratch. One of them, I got a piece of junk going, and I wasn't really into what it was, but I knew there was money to be made there, and I figured I'd just put some other people in charge. So I had my main prime bar going here in Denver, the Giggling Grizzly. That was my bread and butter. That was where I was GM, bartender, and I was doing everything for 8 years. But then I wanted to branch out, and I bought a little rundown place called The Hub, and I turned it into a music theater called The Marquee. And that place does great now, but it just kind of it was too much for me. And we got it so cheap and flipped it that I made a good amount of money just transforming the bar into 180 degrees of what it was, as the location area was kind of taken off too. So I made a good amount of money on that bar, flipped it in about, I don't know, over a year, probably under 16 months, over 12 months, somewhere in that zone. And then I bought the Moon Time, which was the old, what was it called? There's only 2 of them in the state, and one of them's in the damn town this is how spaced out I am today. The Minturn Tavern on Broadway. Bought that and turned it into Moon Time. That blew up. And that one was my favorite, but then I went through my divorce, and you know, first thing my attorney, if you guys ever wondered why I got out of this, first thing my attorney said, because our son was 1 year old, was if you want any parenting time, you need to switch careers right now. I don't know if it's that way in every state, but my lawyer broke it down for me. She was like, look, she's like, and I don't know why it was such a harsh comparison. She was extremely nice, and she even said, I got nothing against it. I know you work very hard. You know, I was paying her, all that kind of stuff, but she's like, being a bar owner, bartender, bar manager is like, it's not the same as being like a drug addict, but in the eyes of the court, they view it as if you're in the bar industry till 3, 4 in the morning, even a few nights a week, that you're just in that party scene, which is, I mean, it's not that far off. But I'd been doing the bar industry for so long that I just had taken myself out of the party scene because I was over it. You know, I'd been doing it for 25 years, and you know, sure, did I have a night or two? Sure. But when I was going through my divorce, no. I mean, like I wasn't even drinking, nothing, because you know, I was trying to pay bills and deal with all that stuff. And hopefully none of you ever have to go through a divorce. It's hell. You know, even people I know who go through, you know, ones that aren't that bad, they're not ever pretty. And if you don't have a kid, they're still not pretty. But when you have a kid and it ends up going to court, it's really not pretty. And then when you both, like my ex and I, we're not best friends, but we're not enemies anymore. And because we were for a while, but I think that enemy stemmed from both of us hiring attorneys who were aggressive and going at each other. Because once you hire in the attorneys, it's like legislation. Once you let the attorneys in, you're out of the picture, and they're just fighting on your behalf, and then they come back to you and say, yeah, we ripped her a new one, and then the other party hates you or whatever. But now my ex and I think we kind of look back at it like, wow, dude, that was a lot of wasted money, you know, to get to where we are. And now, especially because it was over parenting time and all this, that, and the other, and sadly, not for me, I mean, it is sad for me too, but I understand it. It's a very complicated situation. But my son lives with me full time now, has for a while. He's with me 7 days, 7 nights a week, 365 days a year. So it started off with more parenting time at mom's, but just kind of worked the other way. And then for years, it kind of worked with more parenting time at me. But now it's just full time with me. He's going to be a senior this year, so you know, life. But yeah, if you ever go through a divorce, man, you know what I would recommend is, you know, immediately, even if you're in anger, you know, go take a long walk, get some deep breaths in, and really, even if you're angry as hell at your significant other, call them, and even if you have to beg and you don't want to, beg for mediation and make mediation work. Because it's about the only way to come out with a legal solution that can be challenged, but it's so expensive that neither party would do it. But if you agree at mediation, that is the same as a judge ruling, and it's like $2,000 each. You can walk out of there, you know, out of a mediation. So I'm not advertising mediators. I'm not advertising divorce. It's hell, so don't do it. If you think you might get divorced, don't get married. I know, easier said than done. I get it. I miss the Hare Krishners. Yeah. You know, the old Stapleton Airport, I only know about it because I had flown out here a couple times. When I moved out here, DIA was already here. That's how long it's been here. I've been here for a long time. I've been here since 98, and I believe that whole time it's been DIA. I don't think ever was that Stapleton. Stapleton, I remember like 4 years before I moved out here, I flew out here, or 3 years before I moved out here, I flew out here to visit some friends that were out here. I was kind of getting a feel for it. I remember I flew into Stapleton, but when I got out here, it was gone. And the thing about the Denver International Airport, probably a lot of you know, if any of you look up conspiracy theories, if you put Denver International Airport conspiracy theories into Google, man, you're gonna go down some rabbit holes, but you're gonna have some fun too. And a lot of it's not BS. Like when you see the Freemason stuff and the artwork on the wall, that crap's all real, dude, and it's spooky. And the way they put it, you don't really see all that stuff when you're walking through the airport. But it's not like this big either. These are murals the size of my car on the wall, and yet they've placed them so you don't see them unless you're looking. But they're just horrendous. I mean, I won't even describe them. You guys got to just go Google or go, you can even do it on YouTube. You'll find a couple videos. But go look up Denver International Airport or Denver International Airport conspiracy, and you'll find a ton of stuff. I mean, it's crazy. But they built the airport twice, and the first time they built it, we did this wrong, and so they raised it and built it above what is now all these subterranean tunnels, which is sketchy, right? We've had like what do you call it when the earth swallows you, but when it's natural, it's like a sinkhole, right? We've had like sinkholes, but they're not sinkholes because if you imagine like the hole underneath the tarmacs and stuff are these carved out tunnels. So occasionally they punch through. They punch. We've had like people who are doing baggage and stuff just fall down a level because the ground gave out. So it's not like a couple times. It's not even like it cracks and gives out over time. It just poof. And we've had a couple people go through. So it's weird, man. But if you are on an aerial view of the original, I don't know how closely the new one is mirrored like this, but when you're the old aerial view, if you can find an old aerial view online of the first Denver International Airport design layout, the one, and they built it, the whole thing was built, they had to knock it all down and rebuild it, but they built it. But when you look at it from above, no joke, we're a huge airport, but it was a swastika was the design of the runways. No joke. I mean, I'm not even saying, oh, it kind of looks like one. It was a swastika. You were above it, it was a swastika. So, no idea what that crap's about, why nobody would catch that. Some of the conspiracy things, like I was saying, like you go watch something, you'll probably hear them mention Illuminati, and like that was on purpose, and part of me has to think, and again, this is what conspiracy theories are supposed to do, is make you think and hopefully throw you off track, but sometimes they're right. But I have to think that with the amount of architects, designers, engineers, they all knew, like, nobody in that room was like, bro, that looks like a swastika, we shouldn't do that. Yeah, Justin, same here, man. My wife is an elementary school, or my ex is an elementary school teacher. We've been divorced since 2008, and I'm engaged now to somebody totally new and awesome. Hi, Marissa. But her's very well-to-do from LA, and her dad is a lawyer, of course. And her dad, and we were married for many years, so her dad and I got along pretty well. But when it came to a divorce, it was like lights out, kind of thing. But yeah, it's dude, it's never cheap. Mine was very expensive. I don't know if you have a kid involved, you can triple the amount you'll be paying your lawyer if you care about seeing your kid, or even not just seeing them, but having actual parental rights. I'm not talking about like visiting rights. I'm talking about like co-parenting. And if you want to do that, and if your spouse is fighting it, even, it doesn't matter male or female, it's going to cost both parties 3 times as much. So it's ridiculous. We need lawyers, but we don't need so many of them. Lawyers are like Door Dashers. There's just like 8 million too many. I don't know if anybody watched the round table last night. Hey, what's up, Kevin T? How you doing, bro? I didn't notice that was you on the comment again. I'm watching on this stupid YouTube thing. How you doing, buddy? I don't know if you guys watched the roundtable last night, but we didn't have Hannibal or Gary, and instead I got Sergio and Zach to fill in. We had a really good time. It was you know, I always love it when it's the 5 core people. We've all been there since the beginning, pretty much. But we had a really fun time. Even, you know, Sergio was in full Sergio mode. It was awesome. He was heated about some things, and we were laughing. We were having a lot of fun. Last night was fun. It's always fun, but yeah, it's been weird to me, guys, with the Friday Driver Nation gone. Tom Kelly is not only somebody, like, that was my longest running show other than the audio podcast. Like, as far as like anything else, the website that I do, that I've done for 6 years, ridesharerodeo.com, sent you to uberliftdrivers.com, and then the audio podcast almost 4 years. But other than that, the longest project I have going is Driver Nation with Tom. It wasn't always on YouTube till about the last, I don't know, 25-30% of the time we did it. Most of the time it was just on the radio, but we had so much fun, and Tom's become such a good friend. Tom is actually looking at coming up here August 5th for the Town Hall Summit, where we're going to be talking about all this stuff, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, Tom and I talked off the phone too. He was a ton of fun. But I don't have Driver Nation anymore. Last Friday was the first Friday without it, and that one seemed like, I feel like I was like, oh, really cool. Like, I ended up getting caught up on some work. I didn't really enjoy it, so it wasn't like I took the Friday off and went, oh, I'm gonna go out, because again, it's 7 to 9 Eastern, so it's 5 to 7 in Colorado every Friday. We did that for 2 years, or 2 months short of 2 years. We only had to, because of holidays, can't, like, not do 4 episodes, and I probably missed about 5 total, where other people sat in. So about 9 weeks out of, you know, whatever that is, 20 months, or 22 months, only about 9 weeks did I miss a week. But this week, again, it's Friday now, and my son and we're huge Detroit fans. We live in Colorado, but we do not like any Colorado teams. And by that, let me reinstate, none. We don't like any of them. We supported the Nuggets a little bit, but you know, the Avs and the Broncos can go themselves. And yeah, I know that makes me a Lions fan, but I am a die-hard Red Wings fan. I love hockey. I love playing hockey. I love watching hockey. And so, huge Red Wings fan. But tonight, all weekend actually, tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, my son and I have sick tickets to the Tigers-Rockies games, because we don't go see when I worked at the bar downtown, it was right across the street from home plate entrance to Coors Field. So a lot of times, like, regulars would come in with their season tickets or whatever, and, you know, if it was like a Thursday day game or something, they have like 2 season tickets. Somebody'd be like, hey, you know, my buddy isn't showing up, I got to. We all know that at the stadiums, you know, these drinks are not cheap anymore. This is a no joke, guys. I don't know why YouTube keeps really disconnecting me. I hate YouTube when it does it. Like, not YouTube itself, but the YouTube live stream feature. I like using StreamYard, even if it's just to YouTube. It just, even when StreamYard glitches, it doesn't glitch like YouTube does. So, yeah, thanks, Justin. I thought last night was really good too. I thought it was a perfect balance. It was a perfect mix of information, comedy, and a great panel. I mean, a good panel is always a lot of fun. I love our weekly panel, but sometimes, you know, if 2 people have to have prior commitments or other things they got to do, you know, that's okay. But we just bring in other people. Sometimes those can be a flat episode, or not flat, but sometimes it can be like, if we don't have a guest that's like, that we know well, or that's talking, like, they're just kind of, if I'm like, so what do you think of this, and I talk about something elongated, maybe Dash Theory or Kim or Gary or Hannibal or whoever like expands on what I'm saying, and then we take it to the guest and we're like, what do you think? And they're like, I agree. It's like we all are like, okay, it's gonna be that kind of night. But these were all people that I do stuff with so often that we don't always get together on the round table though. Like if we had Chris from the Rideshare guy, we'd have had all the cast of both Rideshare guy shows on the Rodeo last night, because we had Kim and Zach from Money Hungry, and we had Sergio from Show Me the Money Club, and Chris normally would too. I didn't even ask him because we have John Dash Theory TV, our secret genius. And by the way, guys, John is pretty. I say this a lot. I give John some props because I'm not sure all you guys know about John. Dash Theory TV's channel. It's a great resource for like when I did the Shipped Instacart challenge. I hadn't done either. This was 2 years ago. I did it for the month of December. I crushed it on Shipped, and Instacart was as horrible as it is now for me. But from Shipped, I had just learned about John before I decided to do this challenge and his channel. And then when I decided to do it, I saw that John had all these videos up on Shipped. I literally sat there for like an hour and a half and watched like 10 of John's videos, and then went and did some Shipped. And I can't tell you how much it helped me. Sometimes, some of these videos, maybe they're not the most helpful. Maybe there's a couple things you pick up, but like literally everything, I took something from every one of the 10 videos and applied it in the first 3 days I worked Shipped. I was applying things he had said. And so John, if any of you are interested in Shipped or Walmart Spark or do those, go watch Dash Theory TV's channel, because he's got some of the best information out there on those platforms, I think. I learned Shipped from John. Kim's Side Money Plans learned Spark from John. I mean, this is, for us to be going to John and saying, okay, because I told her how good his Shipped videos were, and then he did Walmart ones. I don't do Spark, but I think this guy next to me thinks I'm insane because I'm talking to myself. Let me turn and talk to him for a minute. Now he knows I'm insane. Hi, Flower. How are you? Good morning, good morning, good morning. But yeah, guys, if you didn't see the round table last night, I don't always say this because, we hope everybody catches it. But if you didn't see it last night, I'm gonna say this one time. I'm gonna give a promo to it that for the rerun, which I never do. But go back and watch it. It was so much fun. It was such a good episode. Yeah, I mean, just everybody was in there perfect. I mean, Zach was heated, Sergio was heated, and right at the right times. We were all on that same page. Oh yeah, it was a good time. So put in the chat, what are you guys doing today? I know you're probably out there working. I've been, a lot of you are on the East Coast, and so what? It's 9:41. You gotta remember, I'm 2 hours back at 7:41. I've been up since 4:30. My first curry was at 5:30, but I got up at 4:30 and made some coffee. And I usually make a cup of coffee. When I have to get up at 4:30, I'm getting a lot better at it. But I usually make a cup of coffee, and then I sit in a chair holding that cup. My first cup of coffee without an alarm in the morning, I'll drink it in like 5-10 minutes, and then kind of move on to my stuff. But this one, I'll just 4:30. My eyes are shut almost. I'm holding a cup of hot coffee. I hold it for like 15 minutes and probably take 3 sips off it, and then I'm like, all right, get up. And I just set it down and get up. I probably drink about a third of the cup. And I think I'm holding it because it's hot, and it's like, it's going to keep me awake. Like, I know, don't fall asleep, you'll spill this on you and burn everything. So, I don't know. 4:30's early, guys. I made a transition to 5:30. That's one thing. 4:30's a different thing, because that's when I worked in the bars. 4:30 was my average on night shifts. 4:30 was my average time to be at home hopefully I've been home for 45 minutes or so, but to be home and and to be actually getting into bed because I didn't want to see the sun come up. So 4:30's was like, hey, okay, it's time to get to bed because the sun's gonna come up. And that was after a 14-hour shift, let's say, bartending, managing, whatever. And now, now it's the opposite. Now I'm like getting up at that hour. So I've literally had to 180 the scale. Now, again, I haven't been in the bar industry full time since 2007, 8, when my divorce was going through. But I have done a lot of guest bartending. I did a little part-time after the divorce was final. It's kind of, I treat it like gig work. It's W-2, but like I know all the people in this town. It's a big town, but when you own bars and manage bars, you meet all the players. When you work in the bars, you meet most of the players, at least in your area. But I've met all the players. So like, even tonight, if I was really strapped for money, I could treat it like a gig. Now, and I don't want to put that out there. Most people couldn't do this, but I could call a couple people I know and say, hey man, any chance you need a bartender for a few hours tonight? And most likely one of them would probably say yes. That could be a deal where, maybe I'm working under their employee number for a few hours or something, just on the POS kind of thing. But, where I'm not an employee. But any of those type situations, I'm not even working for their money. I just work on temps. So, but even that's pretty rare these days. The only times I really go back into bartending, because it was since the pandemic. Yeah, since before the pandemic, it was way more often. But since the pandemic, I probably I've done like 2 or 3 parties. I did a Christmas party, I did a bachelorette party, just things like that, where, it's like the bachelorette party was, all the drinks were to be tabbed up, but it was paid for. So these drunk women were tipping like crazy because they didn't have to pay for any drinks. So I was like, yeah. When drunk people are getting everything for free, if you're in the service industry, you should beg to trade shifts to work those type of nights if you're in a place where those kind of events happen, because you will make bank. So I'm out in Bennett, Colorado. Bennett, Colorado is literally, it has a Quick Trip, a King Soopers, a Love's, a McDonald's, and a Comfort Inn, and not even a Starbucks. That's it. I don't know. I think they got to drive 20 miles to Denver for a grocery store. I don't even think they have one. But it's a lot of building going on out here because of Space Force. I do not know if I will lose a signal. If I do, it'll pop back into place here, but this is some pre-builds, and I've been out to them before, actually. I can't believe it. I forgot. These are like, where this is, I gotta tell you guys, where this is that I am is out in the middle of nowhere. It's 20 miles from the farthest east part of Denver. So you're from city center, you're 40 minutes out. But not only that, where I'm pulling into are these pop-up houses, and I think you guys all know when I say that. Like, I live in an old brick house in Park Hill, not pop-up. Some of these pop-up houses, I can put my hand on it. I feel like I can push the house over. But these are from the 500,000s, and they're 30 minutes out easy of Denver, 40 minutes from city center. But they're not even that nice. I mean, I gotta say, I'm not impressed. 500 grand for these? Forget it. Okay, what's the address? 56542. 56542. That's it, right? 56542. Yep. Okay. I guess. Alright guys, I gotta take a picture of this. Hold on. And that's still there? Cool. Let me get out of here and no, I can't get out of here. Shit. That looks fresh. I'll just back the whole way out. Okay, Flower, I'm running late. It's 8:43, about to get started. Man, Flower, I've been up since 4 hours. 4 hours, dude. Oh, but see, now this is what I'm talking about. Now I'm in a screwed position. I have not screwed, because I've done very well this morning, but it is 7:52 out here. Let me put my house in real quick. Give you guys an idea. Okay, so 26 minutes from my house. It's 7:52 and I have a 10 a.m. pickup is my third curry today. That's like 15 minutes from my house. So what do I do? I'd love to hear some answers in the chat. What do I do? Do I go home? Because what I'm hoping on right now is that on this drive back into Denver, that I will get a curry. And even if it's not my favorite curry, I will take it, because then it'll leave me perfect for 10. I'll go do that one, and then I'll be home before noon, and I'll call it a day, because my son and I are going to baseball all weekend. So I've been working so much, and he's been in a cast, that we've really been looking forward to this. So, but if I don't get a curry, what do I do? See, Flower, what you're saying is my problem. If I go home, I won't go to my bed. I wouldn't go to my bedroom, because that's just game over if I do that. But if I, even if I'm sitting in my living room, like, I'm kind of likely to fall asleep sitting up. And then, of course I set an alarm to be careful, but I don't want to wake up sitting crooked in a chair, at 9:30 to go do my 10 o'clock. It's like, then you're like, oh, and you feel like crap, and like an hour and a half power nap is great, but they're only great if you're like, you're getting up at human hours, not 4:30. Yeah, I know. See, that's the gig work in between thing. I agree with you, but what do I do? See, when I make this much money on curry, what am I going to do? Turn on DoorDash? Because I'm not gonna take any. They're $2. I'm already at 150 bucks, and I got another 50 whatever. I got another $53 one coming up, so I'm gonna be at $203 before noon. So I know people who only do DoorDash get frustrated. Can you imagine how frustrating it is for me to make all this money and now go, okay, I got to blow off 2 hours, turn on DoorDash? I'm literally, I would guess, I take nothing. I might as well go home, sit in my driveway and turn DoorDash on, and set an alarm in case I fall asleep to go get my other curry order, because I don't think in that whole 2 hours I'll see anything that's appetizing. Now, if I had no curry today, and it had been a slower week, okay, yeah, I might turn on DoorDash and some other apps, multi-app, and see what's going on with them. I do that, and in fact, I do that a lot. However, when you have a good morning, like, how do you even turn on DoorDash? It's just, it's almost like you need to laugh. Like on a good day, when you're making pretty good money with some scheduled deliveries before noon, you're making your what you're trying to hit that day. Before 12 noon, it's like, well, I don't dare show me $2 offers with no tip. Don't do that. Because, or at least, my bad on me for getting on the app and thinking I'd see better than $2. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, exactly, Flower. Like if you same thing. Yeah, if you're doing an Amazon route, and you finish it up, you've made your whatever 30, 35 an hour, maybe more. But then then you're like, okay, well, what am I going to do? Turn on DoorDash? I mean, you can, I mean, and now it's even worse though, because now there's the tier levels, and there's the DoorDash is, even if they're not admitting it, they're punishing you for acceptance rate. There are all kinds of crazy things. And for those of you that did miss Roundtable last night, Sergio already saw it. It's already been recorded. For those that do a lot of DoorDash, Sergio, or Harry, the rideshare guy, Harry's been on my podcast 3 times, and I've been on his twice. I know a lot of people aren't the biggest fans of Harry, but you should be. He's an amazing businessman, and if you talk to him and you're like, you don't do gig work, he'll be like, nope, I don't. I'm a businessman. I mean, he actually created the rideshare brand and now has like 23 W-2 employees. He's got a ton of independent contractor people that rely on him for work. He's got like 50 people who make a good living off him. So, the people that bag on him, shame on you, man, because that guy has created a business. Yes, it does well for him, his wife, and his 2 kids, but it also helps 50 people have a living. So whatever, and he doesn't lie. I mean, he puts out, I don't know how many of you guys ever go to the blog and read it. I know that even if you used to or whatever, maybe you don't so much anymore, because reading is just, people are moving past it, with AI and all this stuff and whatnot. But like, Sergio isn't just Show Me the Money Club. Sergio has been a writer for the Rideshare guy since the beginning. And actually that's an interesting story, because when the Rideshare guy started, I knew him when he started in 2015. I knew the Rideshare guy because we were both on Twitter very heavily, and I was doing gig work too. So, but he immediately was starting up the Rideshare guy. He did about, a few hundred ride shares, and then kind of stopped and devoted it to the business right out of the gate. And every time he was putting out an article, he didn't have his full team yet, but every time he was putting out an article, Sergio was like leaving a comment on the article, as long as the article, on everything that was addressed in the article and why Harry was wrong. So what did Harry do? Did Harry go and be a bitter YouTube piece of junk? Like, we know there's many who just talk smack and don't know what they're even saying. They're just morons. But did he do that and just go talk smack about Sergio? Nope. He was a businessman. He went, bought Sergio lunch, and said, you need to work for me. Now, was he trying to change Sergio? I don't know. But Sergio made sure that he knew from day one he couldn't, because he told him at that lunch meeting, yeah, I would consider that. However, I will not have an editor on my pieces. So you can't tell me what to write about. You can't tell me the perspective you want me to have on it, and I don't want anybody editing my work. So Sergio became the rogue rideshare guy writer who was writing a lot of stuff, but it was like Harry had to be like chewing his nails when Sergio dropped an article, because he wouldn't know what it would say. But back to what I was getting to, I just want to give Harry a little love plug there, because even last night on the roundtable, we joked about him for just a second, but then we all have, like, most of us know Harry on that. So but anyway, so Harry interviewed Tony Shu on Monday, or on Tuesday, Tuesday, and they're just cleaning up the video right now. The audio was a little bad, I guess, on the Tony Shu side. It was too low or something. So he has a team, they're working on it, they're getting it cleaned up, but it is supposed to drop today. So on the Rideshare Guide today, there will be a 40-minute interview that's dropping, that's a one-on-one, uncut, between Rideshare Guy and Tony Shu. Now, we talked about it last night. I said to Sergio already got to see it. He got to see a preview of it and watch the whole thing. And so I said to Sergio, because Harry's had Derek Kashashawi on, he's had, Logan Green from Lyft. He's had all these big CEOs, right? But he's never had Tony Shu on. And here's what Sergio said. He said, Tony Shue's a talker, man. That guy can lie through his teeth like nobody's business. But so I asked Sergio, did he hit him with any hard questions? And he was like, as hard as he can. Now Sergio and I understand this. I hope you guys understand it too. Everybody always, this is I think why Harry gets picked on. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've heard, like, when Harry interviews Dara from Uber, right, the CEO from Uber, he's interviewed him twice or 3 times now. Every time, everybody's like, Harry, why didn't you ask him why he pays drivers crap? Okay, here's why, guys. If Harry said to Dara Khosrowshahi, why do you pay your drivers crap? Dara has a team of people who have taught him, if this question comes out, here's what you say. And it's a way to walk around it, not answer it, and somehow elude everybody into that it was answered. So you might think, well, why not at least ask it and put it out there and show he didn't answer it? Because here's the thing, if Harry did that, Harry would never have another interview with Dara. He would never have got this interview with Tony Xu. He would have never had Logan Green. All those CEOs kind of, they have a, even if it's assistants, they have people talking. And if Harry steps out of line, and it's sad, I mean, you should be able to ask what you want. And he does. I mean, I will say that the last interview with Dara Khosrowshahi was his 3rd. And I will say that was the best one Harry's ever done because he got a little harder on the questions. But I'm just going to tell you guys right now, don't expect the, hey, why are DoorDashers crap in your book, man? Why do you treat them like peasants? He's not going to say that. But hopefully in this interview, he alludes to some things. I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you guys, even if it's, people say like vanilla. Oh, Harry was too vanilla. Okay, well, even if it's too vanilla, I'm still going to watch it because there's always a takeaway to be had. And Harry's a very smart guy. But there's just a line he can't cross. Like if Tony Xu came on the round table, we'd grill him. We would grill him all day long. And yeah, he would never come back on. But we would do that knowing he would never come back on. And since I get CEOs of startups all the time because I meet them, I talk to them, they know that I'm about the good. I mean, anybody on the giant app levels that are CEOs, the Lyft, the Instacarts, the DoorDash, those CEOs, if we ever got even one, it's not like the other ones are going to come on anyway, so might as well just drop the grenade at him. Hey, here we go, Tony. Got some questions for you. But yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess I'm saying don't watch it and have expectations because I feel like you'll be let down. But if you don't have expectations and you're in a big time DoorDasher, I feel like it's something you should watch. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know. But speaking from Harry's past interviews, I would say you should watch it. It's just my 2 cents. Hey, can everybody, if you can, hit that like. I never can tell how many likes or how many people are watching, but hit that like, would you, please? I would appreciate it. Okay. Alright, so 4, I was out the door at 5, it's 8, 3 hours, okay. Looks like I'm going, oh wait, there's a Curri, hold on. No, it didn't go. Good. Or not good yet. Not good yet. By the way, you guys, and for those of you that watch UDM, I don't know if it was I think it was last Friday or whatever, he showed a screenshot that I sent him of a $2,200 Curri going like 20 miles or 25 miles, and people in the comments and whatnot were like, yeah, that's fake, that's Photoshop. Have It Your Way Brian, who's in here, who joined me this week on the last mile, friend of mine, great guy, a lot of you probably know him, super kind guy. He was the one that actually got that offer, and some people in the comments were like, oh my gosh, it's Photoshop because it says 1995 GMC. Guess what, guys? That's what he drives. Yeah, Curri doesn't care about the year of your car. In fact, that 1995 GMC is a cargo van, And so they don't care. Does it run? See, Curri treats things how all the apps should. I mean, Rideshare, okay, I get it a little, or I used to get it, why you needed to have a newer car. Now I don't, because it's become too much trash. But back in the day, like when I was doing tons of Rideshare in 2015, leading up to the pandemic, I would vacuum to clean my car every night at the end and filled it up with gas. I was ready to go the next day with a perfectly clean, good smelling car, gassed up. I took that pride in it. At the pay now of an Uber X rate, I would never, and that's probably part of why I don't even use those in my arsenal. I'm still active on both Lyft and Uber, but I haven't done one since the pandemic because the payment is so low, make it work, but I don't feel like I'd put the pride in it that I was. And that pride was keeping my car clean and all that. I don't think I'd care anymore enough to do it. And if I'm not, look, if I'm not going to do a really good job, I don't want to do it. It's just, if the pay went back up, sure, I'd do it, and I'd start cleaning my car again and doing that. I mean, it's always pretty clean, but I mean, like I had it so that anybody that got in my car was like, oh, thank God, this is a clean, nice Uber. I made it so that people were happy because people were already starting to experience, man, it's like a 50-50 shot. Sometimes there's clothes that stink in the back, and sometimes the Ubers are immaculate. I wanted to be immaculate all the time, so. No, Flower, I didn't get it, but I could have got it. It was still available, but I didn't see the amount. The banner, sometimes if the banner's too long, because you only get the 2 lines of text, and then if you can't see the price. So I saw how far it was, and the distance I'd be going, but I couldn't see the price, so when I hit it and went into the app, it was like $24 or something, and I didn't even really look. It was in Wheat Ridge. That's about another 20 minutes past my house. And, for 20, that would have had to at least be 50 plus for me to want to do that right now. Because, I don't know. I'd rather go home, answer some emails. That's sometimes what'll keep me awake a little bit too. And I think it depends on my energy. I have enough energy to go home, do an hour and a half of emails, an hour 15 of emails, play some catch up, and then get back out and do that last one, and then I'll be done for the day. And then my son and I, like I said, are going to 3 days of baseball this weekend. So our Detroit Tigers are in town. I don't go to Rockies games anymore. When I managed the bars, I went to tons, not full games, but partials and stuff, because people would leave us tickets. And I got to see, it was cool because I was never a big Rockies fan, but I would just go. I liked going and being able to see all the other teams that came to town. So I tried to make make sure I saw all the teams over the years that I could. And I did. I got to see, like a ton of teams I'd never seen. It was fun. But the only time we really go anymore is we usually try and go to opening day. It's actually because of the amount of years I was down there and what a party it is for opening day. Ever since my son got into middle school, I'm a great parent. Don't judge me on this one thing. But I've always considered it a holiday. It's usually a Monday or a Friday, and I always let him have school off for opening day. We go down there and we have a good time. We go watch. It's always a day game, but I always let him miss school for opening day. So, and then maybe we'd catch a game here or there. There's usually 4 or 5 games where if you know in advance when they are, the 4th of July is usually one, but obviously, but there's usually like 5 fireworks games a year, and we have a thing like the worst seats in the house are way back beyond second base, past the outfield, and that longest distance from home plate is this seating section. We call it the rock pile. When it's a fireworks game, if rock pile seats are $10, and if it's a rock pile game or if it's a fireworks game, that's where they shoot the fireworks off from. So when the game ends, there's like 20 minutes where they let all the rock pile seat people walk onto the outfield of where they play, and you sit down on the grass and they set up the fireworks and they shoot them from your seats in the rock pile, but you get to watch it from the field. So it's like the only time you want a rock pile seat, because otherwise you're sitting in the beating sun at a mile high. You're just getting drilled at 100 degrees, it's just brutal. I mean, there's a reason those seats are $10. But for the fireworks games, they're amazing. So. And now I'm back. To traffic. See, but it's 8:11, so here I am. I'm getting close to my house. It's 8:11. The traffic is just starting, and Denver's heavy, and with all the construction, it's getting really heavy right now. So yeah, all the construction, everything, traffic's just starting, and I'm gonna get off the road. You know, like I really haven't dealt with any traffic today. Nothing. Getting up at that early means nothing, but so I'm very close to home. I'll keep this going until I get home. Smack that like it shows that 0 people are in here on my YouTube. I guess I'm all alone in here. I don't know. Oh, there's one. See, my YouTube right now says 1. This is why I hate YouTube Live, because I don't think it's accurate. It says 1 person in here, 6 likes. Okay. Usually when I hit end on the stream, now it says 3 and 6. Like, I just don't think it's right. I don't know. Because when I look at it after I end the stream, it's like, oh, there were more people in there. There had to be, because there's more people that saw it. And I look at view time and the watch time hours, like right when I hit end, and it just doesn't add up to 1 person or 2. Hey, Tony, what's up, man? Hauling paint, bro. Oh, man. Oh, Tony. Your brother and namesake only is being interviewed on the Rideshare guy today, or it's already been recorded, but you might know this. But Tony Shu and Harry are going toe to toe, cage match style. Hopefully, Harry gets a few good questions out of him at least. You know. I don't know if you just joined in, Tony, but I was explaining how, you know, a lot of people call Harry's interviews vanilla, but you and I know that, like, if Harry were to go hardball with these guys, they would never come back, and neither would any of the other CEOs and stuff. So it's just a different thing that he does. But I feel like the last time, that 3rd interview with Derek Kashashawi, I feel like he felt comfortable enough to push that limit a little bit. And that was kind of nice to see. But am I expecting that with Tony Shu? Not really. But I'm still going to watch it. Because I think there's always, again, like I was saying, I think there's always something to be taken in from him. Like Musk versus Zuck. Hey, Tony, if you did not watch the roundtable last night, and I don't ever do this about like replay, right? I don't ever promote something, but go watch the roundtable from last night. Or at some point, watch it. Tell Lisa to watch it too. She'll like it. It was really it was an interesting episode for sure. Yeah, I mean, really interesting. It was, if you weren't watching, Gary and Hannibal both couldn't make it. So it was just gonna be John, Kim, and I, and so I called Sergio. I'm like, hey man, wanna come on tonight? He's like, let me check. Yep, I can do it. And then I called Zach. So minus Chris from Show Me the Money Club, I had all the Rideshare guy live stream people. I had the Show Me the Money Club. I had half of Show Me the Money Club with Sergio, and then I had I had Kim and Zach, so I had the Money Hungry team too. It's pretty fun. Cracked some jokes, talked about some interesting stuff, got Sergio heated. Not at us, just how he gets. And God love him for that. I appreciate the fact, I love that Sergio gets heated. And Tony, by the way, as of yesterday, Sergio is coming out here for the August 5th event. Oddly, Kim's Side Money Plans and Zach are looking at coming out here for the event on the 5th as well, for the town hall. So you and I need to, we need to go catch breakfast or something. I know we met for coffee and we're chatting last week or whatever, but we need to meet for breakfast. And maybe you would even want to take on part of helping me Saturday with the organization. I would even, I'll even see if we can't find a little parafund to help you out for anything you do for us. Maybe just to even take you off the clock for the day, Just, like, hey, Tony, what would you make today? Okay, don't worry, we'll pay that to you. I don't know, I can't promise anything, but I'm saying I would really appreciate your help. And I think this one's the town hall, not GigCon the day before, but the town hall with Stephanie. I could really use your help, just kind of putting some things together. So, and I'm sure that in the Parafund we can find something for you. But also you're going to get fed, free food and drinks for you and Lisa. So, although Lisa's pregnant and you don't drink, so for sure. Okay, yeah, right on. Yeah, I'm almost home. Tony, where are you at? What are you doing? Are you out working, or are you just awake and at home? Yeah, it's gonna get hot out today again, isn't it? It's so funny, man. I don't know if you're out, Tony. Just waking up. So okay, so I just exited 70 at Central Park, heading westbound back into town from Bennett, and I'm watching. I can see the Front Range mountain line, but it's buried in some like hazy dark clouds, but they're not like pitch black. But I'm seeing lightning just drop down in huge width, like very, very girthy pieces of lightning, not just those quick little snaps, but big ones coming down in the mountains or right in the foothills. And yet it's sunny here. It doesn't even look like it's raining over there. It just looks spooky. Yeah, but it's not that. It's not a fire. This is that gloomy before. For those of you that don't live here like Tony and I, lately we've been getting hail turns to rain, hail turns to golf ball hail, and then it gets sunny and 90 degrees, and then it snows, and then it turns sunny and 90 degrees. That there's a saying here in Colorado, and Tony can back me on this one, because it's true. It's not today, but many times a year, 4 seasons in a day. So that's another reason I know how early I get up. I mean, getting up at 4:30 every day is a bitch. But I am getting more used to it. I will say it's nice earning the money I need to by one, so that I can go get on all this other stuff. And then, obviously, when I say need to, having a teenage son, I have to earn more than I need to. So after I do my work till noon, and then I go home and do YouTube, website work, emails, all that kind of stuff. Then I've got my apps open. I'm watching from home for good careers. Then I'm taking those, and then I'm doing some evening work. But on Thursdays, as you know, I must love the round table, because on Thursdays, when the Thursday round table is over, now for you East Coasters, you're gonna be like, what? But when Thursday round table's over, by the time we're really done, we've wrapped it up, the show's over, and then we're backstage for a little bit chatting. It's usually about a 2-hour thing. So I know it starts at 9 out east, which means it starts 7 here in Colorado. But after I work that entire day from 4:30 until 5, and then from 5 to 6 I am doing the para premiere that I recorded earlier in the week, and then from 6 to 7 getting my last minute prep in for the round table, and then from 7 to 9 the round table. So by the time 9 hits and it's been a 4:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. day, I am exhausted, man. And then sometimes I can't get to sleep either because my mind races and all kinds of other things. So, you know, like I know a lot of gig workers I talk to have some sleep issues. Not like, maybe they're not all as serious or whatnot. Mine isn't, I don't think. But you know, but I encounter some sleep stuff. There are times I wish I could sleep better, but I keep swapping up my schedule, and lately I've just been making it earlier because I can earn better, I can earn smarter, and I can navigate the streets of Denver without traffic because it's gotten nightmarish here. And it's gotten nightmarish because just like all the platforms, the city of Denver is oversaturated by about 3 times what it should have in people living here. It's not like San Francisco where everybody's leaving and it's like all the streets have become one ways out of the city. It's all the streets have become one ways into Denver. So it's like everybody's coming here. And that's been happening for years, but we've really been seeing an onslaught, especially of the California people who are like, well, we wrecked our state. We're going to come wreck yours now. So Tony and I are like, stop moving here. Go to Wyoming. They need people. Oh. I'm sorry, guys. I can't really see the chat when I'm driving, but so Gary, no, Harry. Did I say Gary? I'm sorry. I'm a little tired. Harry did the interview. It'll be on the Rideshare guy. And Sergio said it's dropping today. He did not know the time, so you guys might want to go check. I don't know. You know, I would imagine. Well, I don't even know. You know, Harry might just drop it. Like a lot of times he doesn't schedule it, or you wouldn't see it as, you know, a premiere, or it's not live. It's already been pre-recorded. But I don't know if he often scheduled as a premiere. Chris runs the YouTube channel for Harry, the Rideshare guy. Chris is, if you know Real Rideshare Stories on YouTube, that's Chris, and he runs the Rideshare guy YouTube channel. So I don't know if it's. I'll text him when I get home because I'm kind of curious. But I do know it's today. The Tony Shu Harry interview will air at some point today, and I would imagine it wouldn't be in the evening. It's usually in the afternoon when they drop something like that. So we'll see. I'll text Chris, see if I can get any info out of him, but just keep an eye out for it. I mean, I believe it just drops. It's not gonna be like a premiere, and it just drops. So like if they picked, you know, noon Eastern, it'll just be out at noon. So and there won't be any like talk about it first. So all right, guys, that is been awake for 4 hours now. I just rolled into house, and there was that was a long. I didn't see the price, but that was a long curry. Let me just see before I turn this off. Hold on. Good. All right, guys. Let's see who else joined. Hey, good morning, Marissa. Oh no, it destroyed your garden. Yeah, see, Marissa lives in Boulder. She lives even closer to the foothills. Hey, what's up, Outsider 2? How are you? And anybody else that joined, smack that like. And no, Flower, I ain't gonna take no nap. If I take a nap, I won't get that last one. And I need that last one, so. Go Detroit Tigers. Screw you, Rockies. Peace, y'all. Talk to you soon.